I'm live. Looks like you can see all of my equipment. I am facing a little diagonally, or as they would say in Harry Potter, diagonally, um, today because we are going to do almost Ian. I say almost Ian because many of you do not have props at home. And usually with yin, we like to take a look at what we can do to get ourselves closer to the ground. Because sometimes the ground is just too far away from the parts of the body that we want to be spending our focus on. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove a layer just to make it a little bit easier. We are live. This is the Saturday following Thanksgiving of 2025. I'm Karen McPhillips, coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios, right in Vermont, where it's trying to snow. So we're actually going to go ahead and start on our backs with the knees bent. And in yin, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's very mat based. You spend a little more time in each posture to allow your body to yield to it. Maybe even allow your breath and your mind to yield to it if necessary. We're just going to find a posture with the knees bent, the feet apart, the palms facing up, and we're going to start to press the low back to the ground. Release and press. Release and press. Now imagine you're about to send yourself into a bridge pose, but not really. So be super, super low. So your shoulder blades are attached to the ground. The backs of your hands are attached to the ground, but you're welcome to bring your palms down. If you like, I actually prefer the palms up. Your sitting bones are not super close to your heels, so you can't touch your heels. And your knees are as if your thighs are spinning toward each other. We're just going to do a teeny little lift of the tailbone up. So it's softening the connection between the glutes and the low back and the ground. And then we bring the hips down. Inhale again, tilt the pelvis. And exhale down. This time we're going to bring the arms up to over our head. So inhale, tilt the pelvis. Continue to inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Pause. And bring it all down. This time just the pelvis, tilt. And bring it down. This time the arms, inhale up to the sky and over the head. And press the palms there. Lengthen your legs. Reach forward with the toes and backward with the fingers as you breathe in and out. Try breathing in two breaths without any exhale in between. We will cross the left ankle over the right and cross the right wrist over the left and breathe in again, reaching toes forward and fingers back. And then switch the cross. We're going to sort of walk into a quarter moon shape. So release the crossing. Walk your legs over to the right. And then bring your arms over to the right. It doesn't have to be very far. You might even cross the left ankle above the right leg. Above the right ankle. and take a hold of the left wrist with the right fingertips. Just finding this beautiful opening all along the left side. We'll take a few breaths here. Release that inhale, come to center. Gather your knees into your chest. Give them a good squeeze. Knee circles to roll around on the back. And opposite side. Taking your time. Maybe taking another round. And then the feet come to the ground, the legs stretch out again. Arms overhead. We walk the feet over to the left this time. Maybe cross the right ankle over the left. And then we curve, we stretch from the right pinky toe all the way around in your C curve to the left middle fingertip. Take a hold of the left wrist gently with the right fingers. Double breath in and out. Double breath in and out. One more time. And out. Crawl the legs and the arms back to center. Take another stretch. Maybe hook your thumbs. Spread open the fingers like turkey feathers. Release your arms into cactus shape. Sneak the shoulder blades toward each other so you now have a bit of a tautness in your belly and a lift of the chest. Press the forearms and the backs of the hands and the fingernails into the ground. Feel that in the armpits and just inside the shoulders, your pectorals stretching. Next inhale, arms reach up overhead. Straight to the sky. And we twinkle our fingers. If you feel more comfortable bending your knees and bringing your feet to the ground, go ahead. Make little flicks with the fingers using the thumb on top of the middle finger's nail bed. And go slower. Now we're going to go ahead, open the hands wide and tap each fingertip to the thumb and then release it. Take your time. Just feel the feels. Maybe there's something, and then we come back the opposite way. And any feels, any sensations, allow them to happen. If the rest of the body is making some complaints, check in with it. If it feels relaxed, great. And fists this time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the chest, squeeze the belly, squeeze the toes. Reach the heels away from you. Get really strong, like you feel like you're that Popeye arms. And on a big breath out, we will force a release of all of the muscles open and loose. And squeeze, 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 breathing in. And release. Maybe you take lion's breath with this. We squeeze, 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 breathing in. And one more time. Bring your hands crossed over your chest, loosen your feet, and find ankle circles. Other direction. Interlace your fingers and press the palms toward the sky. And then lift that overhead. It's opening the back a little differently, the arms and the shoulders a little differently, the wrists and the hands and fingers a little differently. If you like, you might bring the feet, the soles together, the knees drop out to the sides for a Baddha Konasana, or what some might call a half butterfly. And maybe we take a little movement of those knees. As the feet come to the ground, sweep the hands by the sides once again. My mat has crinkled up. And this time we're going to knock the knees together with wide, wide, wide feet. Maybe your arms are out in a T with the palms facing up. So I'm going to take a really slow left and right movement. Checking in with the low back, checking in with the belly and the sides. Maybe coming to an understanding of what brought you to your mat today. Whether you're here live with me or you're with me in the recording. All right, you stay doing that. I'm gonna actually change the orientation of my mat. So it's a little bit facing the other way. Because I can't see when I'm lying down. So we're rocking. You're going to go ahead and take the right knee in toward your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Make sure the big toe mound of the left foot is pressed to the earth. Bring your right hand to your right kneecap and use it to guide your knee into a nice wide circle in one direction. I like to place the left hand on the hip flexor on the left side, so right where the thigh and the hip joint meet. Your back might move a little bit, and we're going to take it into the other direction. So these are not all, some of them are more traditional yin poses, but they're not all. And as I said, typically you would have props to help bring the ground closer to you. We're going to go ahead and bring the hands behind the thigh if that's possible for you. And when you exhale, so exhale, you're going to release a little bit. The knee comes upward away from the body. When you inhale, you're going to bring the thigh and squeeze it to the belly. It might feel a little close, a little tight, maybe a little over Thanksgiving foodie, but this is a way to help digestion. So exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Check that left foot is really connected to the earth, especially the big toe mound, and then stretch the right leg to the sky. Your hands might remain behind your thigh, behind your calf, or maybe you're stretching enough to reach your foot. But as you know, it is not a competition. So whatever feels okay for the body. Keep that left knee straight up and down. Alternate between reaching the heel of the right foot and the toes to the sky. I'm keeping my arms out just because it feels good to me. You don't have to do that. And ankle circles. Maybe there are a few little cracking air joints going on here. Now we're going to go ahead and bring the knee back in, no hands. And we're going to reach the leg long so that the thighs are parallel. I need to fix mine a little bit. You're going to reach away with the heel of the foot. You might start to feel your low back coming away from the ground, so maybe you soften your arms down and you press the low back to the ground. Then you lower the leg just so it hovers over the ground and is reaching forward. A little bit more. Then the knee comes back into the chest and we send that leg high. Alternate between heel and toe, reaching to the sky. Lower the leg so the thighs are parallel. See if you can get that leg really straight without locking the knee. Press the low back to the earth, lower the leg a little bit more so it's hovering over the ground. This time we're really slowly going to lift the leg up while we press the low back to the ground. And if you like, maybe move it slowly out to the right. If you have the stretch, maybe your hand takes a hold of your pant leg or your toe. Seeing if you can keep that left foot on the ground and the knee pointing toward the sky. We draw the leg nice and high again. Bend the ankle, bend the knee, and place the ankle above the left knee. Let's stay here for a moment, scooting the shoulder blades more toward the hips. Activate the right foot and press the right knee away from you. No props, no hands. Look, Ma, no hands. And then if you'd like to take your supine figure four deeper, you can go ahead and lift that left knee. The shin comes parallel to the earth, the foot gets active. Maybe you thread the needle with your right arm and take a hold of the thigh, the left thigh. Really want to aim to soften the shoulders toward the ground. And remembering that this is your practice, not mine. I can't see anything that's going on with your body. So if it doesn't quite feel right, maybe you loosen somewhere. Maybe you try something a little different. Just be aware of any injuries that you need to account for. And some people might like to add a hamstring stretch to this, but you don't want to do that at the risk of coming out of the hip opener. All right, keeping the figure 4, we'll lower the left foot to the ground. We will scoot the right knee over the left knee, like you were crossing your legs in a chair, which maybe you're not supposed to do. Shift your hips, lift them a little bit up. Actually, that feels good. I'm going to hold that for a breath. And then move them over toward the left. Drop the whole leg situation to the right. This might feel a little awkward, but it's a beautiful stretch from the inner part of the right shoulder blade all the way around the back, like a candy cane, to the front left hip. And that is drawing downward or forward, if you will. Arms come out in a T. Your head wherever feels okay. Some people like to keep it to the right or maybe to the sky because it feels better on the neck. I find it supports bringing the left shoulder blade to the ground if I turn it to the left. We check in with the body, make sure we're not squinching up anywhere. I can feel my left toes wanting to curl. So we find our breath, and we'll be here for several of them. Considering maybe the word settling or yielding or softening. There is no perfect. Not in this pose, not in any other yoga pose. It is, after all, called a practice. It's about preparing the body for the things that happen off of the mat, not just to the body, but the things that happen around you that you cannot control. Those are things to which you can only respond or react. So the choice here is, how do I choose to improve my awareness, my proprioception, my agility and stamina and resilience physically? In meditation, how do I do the same for my mind mindfully? And then across both, including perhaps some of the teachings, how do I work with my heart, mind, my spirit, whatever you'd like to call it, my life force, to prepare myself again for whatever is happening on or off the mat? Slowly, we'll scoot that left foot back to the ground. Shift the hips so the spine gets as long and straight as possible. And we'll drop that right foot to the ground. Gathering the left knee in, we'll give it a good squeeze. And then take a hold of the left kneecap with your left hand and make the circles to lubricate the hip. The right knee loves to drop out to the right, so continue to be active in the foot. Some people might like to extend that opposite leg. I find it a little harder to get the hip opener with that leg extended. Opposite direction for the circles. All right, we're going to reach that leg to the sky and alternate between the heel and the toes reaching upward. Maybe take some ankle circles here. 6 at least in one direction and 6 at least in the other. All right, leg is reaching up, heel is reaching up. We slowly lower the thigh to come parallel with the other thigh, reaching away with the heel. Finding the breath, reminding the low back that we love it too. So we protect it using the low belly and pressing it, the low back, to the ground as if your seat is coming forward. And then we lower this leg to hover over the earth. This time as we exhale, the knee comes in. We'll take that little movement we did on the other side. We're going to inhale, squeeze the thigh against the belly. Exhale, loosen everything. Inhale, belly opens and presses to the thigh to the belly. Exhale, loosen. And again. Exhale, loosen. Leg extends once more to the sky. Maybe your ankle circles again. Keep that big toe onto the right foot, pressing to the earth. And we lower the leg. Thighs are parallel. Check in with the low back. Check in with the belly. See if your shoulders have scrunched up to your ears and release them. Yield to the posture. Yield to the shape. Yield the mind and the heart to allow the body to take over. Slowly lower, hover. And the knee in. This time we extend the leg. We bring it out to the left. So you might notice that this is not all in the same order as the other side, but we're doing all the same things. It's kind of nice to mix it up. Some people prefer not to and keep it all symmetrical, exact. But I kind of go with what I feel sometimes. And we lift that leg once again and lower halfway to the thigh. Reach away from the hips. We come to a hover. This time we lift the leg all the way up. Hug the knee in. And cross the ankle above the right knee. You might stay here for a few breaths, for a few moments, just getting the feel of it, making sure that the left hip is not moving forward, and the right hip kind of drifting up as a result. This can feel very easy, but it's a really nice hip opener. If you can go deeper, we lift the right foot off the ground, lace or thread the left hand through the hole that you made, and draw that right thigh backward. The left elbow can be utilized to press the left knee out right now and have a really good inner thigh and glute stretch. Shoulder blades kissing the ground. Maybe extend the right leg to add a hamstring stretch. I am much less open on this side, but that's just a fact. There's no shame. I don't, at this juncture, feel the need to make any adjustments. All right, that right foot comes to the ground. We scoot the left knee over the right. The hips lift for a moment, and then move a little bit to the right, allowing us to drop the legs to the left. Slowly, taking our time, unfolding and yielding to the shape. Maybe on this side, things feel a little different. Not good, not bad, not black, not white, not better, not worse, just different. Allow yourself to welcome that. Gently, the right foot scoots back onto the ground. We shift the hips to allow the spine to get nice and long, and maybe one more hug in of the knees, or perhaps a happy baby. Finding a little rock left and right to start with. And bring the knees back in toward the chest. The hands can come by the sides if you need them to help you to rock forward and backward into a seat. And here we are. Very, very nice. How are we doing for time? Excellent. Okay, so here in our seats, nice strong back. I'm going to scoot backward a little bit so it's easier for me to use more of the mat. And extend the left leg long for John O'Shea. Oh no, let's take a twist first. So let's take the right foot and bend, take it to the mat and bend the right knee. You want about one fist's width distance between the foot and the leg. The heel of the left foot reaches outward and the toes come inward. Some people utilize their back arm more like a kickstand. We're looking for it to be more of a guide. Some people like to lift their left arm and bend it and bring the elbow over. And some people feel more comfortable or like they have a better space to work with if the hand is outside the knee. So we're going to sit up tall for the breath in order to twist toward the back on the breath out. The eyeballs follow the path of the twist, supporting the activation of the vagus nerve, the relaxation, the rest and relaxation, rest and digest nerve. And then check with your back shoulder. Mine was hunked up toward my ear. Hunked up is probably not a word, but I need to bring it downward. We'll come forward, drop the right knee out, maybe shift the left hip back. You can see what that feels like. Sit up tall. I like to, for Janu Shirshasana, I like to reach the arms in front and then lock them backward rather than reach them overhead, because overhead kind of points to go ahead and reach for your feet. I would rather have the heart move toward the shin to protect your back. So as you exhale, you reach forward. You want to work toward a straight back, and maybe you don't come all the way down. But you don't want to lift the head up like this because that can crunch your neck. So use your breath and find what works for you. Inhale, rise up. Take your right ankle, scoot it above your left knee. Lean backward and bend the other knee. Stacking the logs. You can also take a half lotus if that works for you. You want your shins potentially to be parallel to each other. And I have a little space here where I might normally put some sort of support, like stuffing my sweatshirt or something there. It does not feel awkward or painful to me right now, so I'm going to leave it. You're welcome to stay up straight, or you could find a fold with the heart reaching forward first, or you could attempt a bind. So maybe you take the left arm, reach it up toward the sky, bend the elbow so the fingers come behind your neck, and then reach up with the other hand to see if you can pull that down. So that's one bind. Or half bind. You could also attempt or practice bringing your right arm out to the right with the thumb down, sweeping and bending behind you, and then scooting that hand up toward the other hand. I do not have a full bind here, but many people do. It's hard for me to do, but it feels good to open up all the piece parts that might eventually in my lifetime allow me to bind. I like a little rocking because I think it feels really good on the thighs. We're going to move into a pigeon. So unhook your right leg, sweep it around to the right. You might need to lean onto your left forearm and come up to your left shin. Now I know many teachers will guide that for that left shin to be parallel to the front of the mat. That does not work for everyone, but you could move your left knee out a little bit to bring that leg up. You want to be on the top of your left foot. Some people like a little quad stretch here. Maybe they reach around with the right hand to take a hold of the foot, the right foot. Some people like a back bend, reaching forward with the heart. That gives you an opportunity to lengthen your stance, i.e. open the hips a little bit more, and then maybe you can come downward. Let the head rest on something. With no props, you can always one potato, two potato your hands. So like a fist stacked, and bring the elbows out so we don't have all of the energy into the upper back between the shoulders. I'm stacking my hands like I was doing a crocodile, but instead I'm doing a pigeon, which now sounds like a very neat David Attenborough nature program. And the crocodile and the pigeon rest together in the water. It's a nice place to establish an intention for the rest of your day or evening whenever you're practicing. Or maybe it's even just for the first 5 minutes you walk off your mat. All right, hands walk back under the shoulders. We shift onto the left hip and swing the right leg around. We're going to take our twist to the other side. So the left knee is bent toward the sky. Right heel reaching forward, toes drawing in. Left arm behind you, not a kickstand, just a little guide. And again, if you like to lift your arm and bend the elbow for your twist, or you simply like to use the hand on the knee, feel free. Each breath in, we get tall, creating space for the twist. But just check that you're not guiding that left knee across the belly. Eyeballs follow right along the same path, giving the vagus nerve an opportunity to activate. Inhale forward, Janu Shirshasana. That left knee drops out to the left. We sit up nice and tall. The heart is aligned with the right knee, arms in front. Lock them into the shoulders so the heart can lift. And as you exhale, imagine it's sort of like the belly is painting the right thigh. You don't have to look up to strain. And when you land, wherever that may be. rise up using the belly. Let's go ahead and take a diamond pose, a starfish pose. So the soles of the feet are together, but there's a nice diamond inside the legs. We'll go ahead and scoot the hands underneath the ankles. Use the elbows to press the thighs outward and reach the heart forward. You want a nice long spine here. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you can reach farther, or if it feels okay and you do not have issues with your spine like spurs or dislodged discs or osteoporosis, you can go ahead and drop your head. Go ahead and drop your head. Yeah. As we rise up, we lengthen that right leg, cross the left ankle over it, and then we find our stacked logs or our half or full lotus. I have way more space between my left knee and my right foot than I did the opposite way, so I'm just going to use my hand as a prop underneath. And we sit up nice and tall. Find length and strength and support and opening and lubrication, all of those beautiful physical things. And now notice what your mind, what the little voice inside your head, or as my sister likes to say, the itty bitty shitty committee on your shoulders, what are they saying? Acknowledge them, but you do not have to take them into account. For the bind or half bind, right arm high, elbow bends. We use the opposite hand to support, bringing the fingers down the back. Left arm out to the left, thumb faces down, bend the elbow. Yeah, this side's a lot tighter. And see how close the fingertips can get. If that lifts you out of the stacked logs like mine does, release the bind. I'm going to move the neck a little bit, very slowly. The head turns to the right. I breathe in, it comes forward. I breathe out, it comes to the left. Just want to do a little neck opening here. Chin comes forward, right ear, right shoulder. Chin is parallel to the earth, left ear, left shoulder. This is the one with the most tension for me. And lift up. We're going to lean onto the right thigh or glutes. Swing the left leg around to find our pigeon on this side. Again, stretching that left leg straight out of the hip. If you want a little more parallelness of the shin, front shin with the mat, you move that right knee out a little bit. But it's not requisite. Maybe you take your quad stretch, not very deep for me. And we have just a couple of minutes, so we'll move into our pigeon here. And if you stacked the potatoes, one potato, two potatoes, see if you can go put the other hand on the bottom. And same thing if you took crocodile arms, crocodile tears, and stacked your hands. All right, we are going to find our way to a seat and to our backs. And if you require any other shape or movement, you might take that here. We have just a couple minutes for Shavasana. So I'm going to take legs up the wall with my hands under my low back, letting the back soften and relax, letting the feet relax, allowing for the legs to be heavy, like a I forget what you call it, the post for a fence. Not like it's really been hammered into my hips, because that sounds very violent, but more that that's like the steady part. And move into your Shavasana shape. Could be literal legs up the wall. It could be a Supta Baddha Konasana. Could be whatever works for you. Big breath in, all the way from the toes to the top of the head. Release. If you are practicing in the evening or before you sleep, you might remain here for just a moment. If you are practicing during daytime or are interested in being a little bit more energized before you get off your mat, we're going to take another full body stretch and let it go. And we're going to take 2 short, strong breaths in. Long breaths in, and then a short breath out. Creating a little energy. We bring the body back to movement onto one side and press back to a seat. Together, we end the practice swooping out and around and up, gathering in all the beautiful energy we've created and that already surrounded us. And the hands return to the heart. To honor one another, to honor the holiday of U.S. Thanksgiving, and to honor the heartfelt gratefulness we have for the many, many beautiful, helpful, advantageous moments, situations, and things that we come into contact with, and people too, of course. We'll use a chant of Om to make that happen. Namaste. Thank you once again for taking the time to practice. That's the most important part of the practice. It's a practice. It's called a practice. No, most important part because it allows us time for self-care, guided self-care, and the opportunity to bring that off of the mat and be kinder and more compassionate to ourselves in difficult situations and to others in any situation. I hope you have a great evening, morning, day, week, month, whatever, and I hope to see you soon. My name is Karen, coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios in Central Vermont. Thank you. Bye.